CitrusTV News. Former U.S. gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar receives a lengthy sentence after a dramatic week of testimonies from victims.
And world leaders meet in Devos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum. What did Germany's Angela Merkel have to say about the state of the world's economy today?
And a pop legend is ending a decades-long career. Find out what Sir Elton John had to say about his future in music. Citrus TV starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Advertising students at the Newhouse School are winning a record number of awards in annual competitions this year. The school won a total of 55 prizes at the Graphics New Talent Annual 2018. Good evening, I'm Federico.
And I'm Rebekah Castor. These are the best results Newhouse has ever seen, beating out last year's record of 36. This is also the third straight year a student has won the competition's top honor. And across the street, the Whitman School is being recognized for one of its leading programs. The U.S. Association for Small Businesses and Entrepreneurship recognized Whitman's Emerging Enterprises major as the national model. The chair of the program accepted an award on the school's behalf at the association's annual conference. He says this is a major recognition for the quality of education they offer.
Syracuse University's annual Spring Career Week is coming up soon. From January 29th through the 31st, employers from several industries will come to campus to participate in career fairs and receptions. Many students will have the opportunity to connect with reps from many companies. All career fairs are open to every student, regardless of major or year.
SUNY Oswego trustees voted unanimously to rescind honorary degree from former CBS host Charlie Rose amid sexual assault allegations during a meeting on Tuesday. SUNY Chancellor Christina Johnson said the board asked her to revoke the degree and she obliged. The Washington Post reported in November that 8 women have accused Rose of sexual misconduct. The accusers say Rose would sexually harass them while they were employed by the anchor.
Organizations on campus are discussing President Trump's first year in office. Citrus TV reporter Greg Bradbury is joining us live from Eggers Hall, where these talks are taking place.
All right, guys, well, right now I'm inside of Eggers Hall, where tonight the International Socialist Organization will be holding a meeting discussing Trump's first year in office. Among the topics they will be discussing include the healthcare bill, the travel ban, and the Me Too movement. Other organizations around campus are also discussing Trump's first year in office. Tonight, the college Republicans will be meeting as well. And last night, the college Democrats had their general interest meeting. Next week, the college Democrats will be talking about Trump's first year in office during his State of the Union address.
Session on Tuesday during his State of the Union address, and we're going to just see what he has to say about what he thinks he's accomplished during this first year, and we're going to just open up discussion while we're watching to see how kids and students feel about it.
Now, Greg, why do they think it's important to have these talks a year into his presidency?
Well, they want to make sure that students are staying updated on all the political changes that are constantly happening in the country today, and also make sure that students have a place on campus where they can go and talk about their opinions and stay informed as well.
And Greg, what do they hope to accomplish with these talks?
Well, they hope to accomplish the fact that students will be able to voice these opinions that they are able to talk about in these open forums, and not just post on social media, but really get involved in the political process and hope to make sure that their voices are truly being heard in the real world. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
A 15-year-old Syracuse boy testified today in a murder trial. Michael Williams took the stand against his co-defendant, Jeffrey Bradshaw, to accuse him of masterminding the May 2016 murder turned robbery of 32-year-old Tabary Tilley. Williams originally claimed that Tilley attacked him first near McKinley Park, but later confessed to the murder and claimed the crime was Bradshaw's idea.
Onondaga County is suing more than a dozen pharmaceutical companies and drug distributors over their role in the opioid crisis. And they're not the only ones. Onondaga is accusing these companies of downplaying the risk of opioids. Over 142 opioid-related deaths were reported in Onondaga County just last year.
Only one city in upstate New York was named one of the top 100 places to live in America, Ithaca. Ithaca was named number 37 on the list compiled by a residential research and rankings website. The ranking looks at different data points to evaluate small to mid-sized cities, towns, and villages across America. The only other spot in New York to make the cut was White Plains in Westchester County. And 17 sketches of American World War II soldiers were posted online by a New York State museum in the hopes that the men can be identified. The 17 portraits were discovered by the artist's son and donated to the State Military Museum and Veterans Research Center last year. 2 of the soldiers have already been identified.
Well, Connor, yesterday's seasonably sunny and warm temperatures didn't last long, did they?
Nope, of course they didn't. Snow and frigid temperatures were back today and in full force. Jess, how are these wacky weather patterns affecting the Northeast?
Yeah, so yesterday we had a high in the 40s and today a high in the 20s. What is going on? And even snow this morning, about 2 inches. But you can see the snow left over right now. Not too much around Syracuse for the rest of the night. But yeah, that really strange temperature difference right there caused some flooding localized in the Northeast, and I'll have more of that coming up in my full weather forecast.
Also coming up, former U.S. gymnastics star Larry Nassar receives his sentencing for molesting hundreds of girls.
And we'll have details on an attack at the Save the Children headquarters in Afghanistan. Stay with us.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up. They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good stir. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
You've gone off the page here as to what I'm doing. My page only goes to 100 years. Sir, I'm giving you 175 years, which is 2,100 months.
That was Judge Rosemary Aquilina sentencing former U.S. gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar with up to 175 years in prison.
This afternoon marked the end of the week-long hearing. 156 of his former patients spoke out against Nassar, testifying that he molested them during treatments.
After the verdict was read, former gymnasts and victims embraced and celebrated the sentencing. Michigan lawmakers have also called for the president of Michigan State University to resign in the wake of the sexual assault scandal.
And the thought was that we could come to an agreement that afternoon. The president would announce his support, and then the Senate and House would get it done, and it would be on the president's desk. He didn't do that. So we're going to have to start on a new basis, and the wall offer is off the table.
The border wall plan is off the table. Those were Senator Chuck Schumer's words yesterday after politicians failed to agree on immigration and DACA.
Earlier, Schumer had offered $25 billion in border security measures in exchange for permanent legal protections for Dreamers.
President Trump fired back over Twitter, tweeting, "Crying Chuck Schumer fully understands, especially after his humiliating defeat, that if there is no wall, there is no DACA."
The Department of Justice threatened today to subpoena 23 jurisdictions across the country if they do not release information on their sanctuary policies.
Mayors and city officials from these jurisdictions lashed out against the president, and some refused to attend meetings at the White House in response.
Some of the jurisdictions in the Justice Department's list include New York City and Los Angeles.
U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth has announced her second pregnancy.
The Illinois Democratic senator and her husband Brian are expecting their child later this year.
Although Senator Duckworth would not be the first congressperson to give birth while in office, she would be the first senator.
At least 2 people are dead and 12 injured in an attack carried out in an Afghanistan children's charity office.
2 explosives detonated at about 9 a.m. local time at the Save the Children office located in eastern Afghanistan.
The Islamic State has claimed 3 of the fighters carried out the attack.
World leaders continue to travel to Devos, Switzerland today for the World Economic Forum.
Speakers on the stage included German Chancellor Angela Merkel, French President Emmanuel Macron, and Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates.
Some topics on the table included discussions over the rise of populism and sending foreign aid towards malaria-ridden countries.
Controversy in Brazil continues today. Former President Lula da Silva was once again found guilty after working to appeal his convictions.
In 2017, da Silva was found guilty of corruption and money laundering, but worked to appeal the verdict in order to continue his run for president. The courts upheld the original verdict, preventing da Silva from running in the next year's presidential campaign.
While some of his supporters remain furious about the decision, his lawyers say they will try to appeal today's decision in the future.
And if you're seeing double, don't worry, you're not going bananas. Jiang Jiang and Hua Hua were born 6 and 8 weeks ago.
They are the first mammals that were cloned from non-embryonic cells, which can be taken from most organs or tissues. Because monkeys and humans are both primates, this method could work on humans. But scientists say they have no intention of cloning anybody.
Instead, they plan on creating animal models that are useful for medicine.
Coming up, Apple beeps up its health app. What changes can you expect to find on your iPhone?
And coffee giant Starbucks is offering more benefits to their employees. We'll have more information for you after the break.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
And as I said, we woke up to some snow today, and you can see there's just a few little bits of snow on the radar covering for later tonight, not too much. We had about 2 inches today, and then tomorrow you can see this frontal boundary just continuing to move out and bringing a lot more dry air in place tomorrow, and that'll continue to move out through the day and leave a lot of sunnier conditions for tomorrow. Now here are your current temperatures throughout the rest of New York, central New York. 19, 20 for most of us here, so pretty chilly, and tomorrow should be about the same temperature. If you're going to the game tonight, it's going to be about 20, 21 degrees and not too much snow or ice to worry about after the game. So really no problems there, about 10-mile-per-hour wind, so wear a jacket, definitely be a little chilly. Like I said, 2 inches of snowfall today. Snowed most of the afternoon and morning, but won't be any later tonight. And then, you know, as it gets warmer out, some of that ice that built up over water bodies and rivers kind of started to melt, and that's known as an ice jam, where that river will start to flow backwards and break up some of the ice and then flood over the banks. And that happened in Pennsylvania and other places across the Northeast, bringing a lot of evacuations for houses built close to rivers and other lakes and bodies of water. And now here's your full 5-day forecast. We have 20s, and then as it gets closer to the weekend, we get a little bit of warmer temperatures, 42, 45 even in there, but not too much to worry about in the chance of snow, mostly rain when it comes to the rest of the weekend, and a little bit of sunnier weather tomorrow and on Sunday. And central to New York isn't the only place to get hit by icy weather. Take a look at this. A school bus in Sutton, Massachusetts, carrying 29 children early yesterday morning, started to slide backwards down an icy road. The bus hit a mailbox and slid into a car before coming to a stop. Luckily, police confirmed that none of the children or the driver were seriously hurt. And you can just see that bus falling all the way back.
All right, thanks, Jess. Apple is planning to allow its users to access expanded medical information through the iPhone Health app. Today, the tech giant is rolling out a test version of the feature, which will let users see their immunizations, medications, and allergies, among other medical info. All the user has to do is open the iPhone Health app and tap the health record section. According to Apple COO Jeff Williams, the company won't see the user's health data unless the user voluntarily lets Apple see it. Starbucks is giving its U.S. employees pay raises and more benefits following the new U.S. corporate tax cut. The coffee chain says the increased benefits and raises are worth over $250 million. Starbucks will give hourly and salaried employees another wage increase in April.
Magical news for Disney workers. 125,000 Disney employees will receive a cash bonus of $1,000. Disney is also investing $50 million in an education program for its workers. Disney says the recently passed tax bill inspired the entertainment company's recent action. And pop icon Sir Elton John is officially retiring. The 70-year-old musician said in a press conference today that his next world tour will be his last. The tour will begin in September and last for 3 years. He's also scheduled to perform a duet with Miley Cyrus at this year's Grammy Awards in New York City. John has been touring since he was 17 years old.
Will the Orange be streaking tonight? SU and BC tip off in just a few. Plus a big night in Major League Baseball. I'll tell you who to expect as the newest members of the Baseball Hall of Fame when we come back.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. I'm Noah Eagle with sports. If you go back just 2 years, Syracuse versus BC would have been a guarantee victory for the Cuse. The Eagles did not win a single game in conference play in 2015-2016. That's right, 0-18. Now, that was a young team, and good news for young teams. They get older and they improve. And that's exactly what happened a year later for Boston College. The Eagles started ACC play with a big victory over the Cuse, 96-81. But luckily for the Orange, a chance at redemption just a few weeks later in the Carrier Dome. Tyus Battle ready to take flight and versus the Eagles, a big game from the freshman, and he got going early. John Gillen pokes away the entry pass. Battle takes it coast to coast and lays it in, plus the foul. SU up 8-5 early on, but BC had some good guard play themselves. Kai Bowman, fantastic hair and a fantastic jumper right there, nails the triple, and BC up by 1. However, the Orange would keep their foot on the gas. Tyus Battle, then career-high 21, including those 3, and Syracuse's lead would just balloon all the way up to 35-22, courtesy of an Andrew White triple at the end of the half. White finished the game with 13 points. SU up by 13 at half. Second half now, Jerome Robinson's layup, no good. Nick Popovich plays the garbage truck and cleaning up the trash right there, but SU up by 15 at that point. Tyler Lydon gets the pass from John Gillen, lays it in. SU would go up by 20 then, and we finished with the man that we started. Tyus Battle drains the 3, a big game, and Syracuse beats Boston College 76-53, the final score. So SU got the best of BC on that mid-January day last season, and this year could be a bit more of a challenge. The Eagles return a bundle of talent, headlined by the guard combo of Kai Bowman and Jerome Robinson. The two average nearly a combined 35 points per game. Syracuse goes for 2 in a row at 7 from the Dome. Follow at Citrus TV Sports on Twitter for updates throughout the contest. Now, the following tonight's game, the Orange travels to the Steel City for a rematch with Pittsburgh, and the Panthers are also in action tonight, still looking for that first conference win of the season versus NC State. Georgia Tech is in Tallahassee to try to do what the Orange could not, beat FSU on the road, and a marquee ACC matchup between Louisville and Miami tips off at 8 o'clock. Shifting over to hockey, the Crunch have lost 3 straight and can right the ship tonight. Syracuse makes its way to Laval to take on the Rocket. Now, this is the 4th time the Crunch have lost 3 in a row during the season and will be without Michael Bourneval and Matthew Pekka, who were recalled by the Lightning. Game starts at 7:30. The Baseball Hall of Fame welcomes its newest members tonight. The announcement of exactly who will join Major League Baseball's most exclusive club should come any second now. Big names on the ballot include the likes of home run king Barry Bonds, former Yankee ace Roger Clemens, and former Braves star Chipper Jones, among other legendary names. Now the story to watch, per usual with the Hall of Fame ballots, is the steroid use hindering access to worthy candidates. Barry Bonds and Clemens are the 2 most heavily scrutinized of this year. Well, baseball is known for illegal drugs or substances. How about illegal gambling? Well, the National Basketball Association may be putting that notion to bed. Earlier today, the NBA formally requested a set of laws that would make betting on games legal. The league requests 1% of bets made on its games, along with other regulations, in hopes of creating more widespread access for its fans. This is a developing story. We'll keep you updated. In the world of tennis, it's officially crunch time for the year's first slam. We have one step closer to having our final 2 on both the men's and women's side. And we'll take a look at the men. Roger Federer punched his ticket to the semis earlier with a straight sets win over Tomas Berdych, and the defending champ faces Hyun Chung to get back to the final. And if you're nocturnal, well, you can catch the other semifinal between Marin Cilic and Kyle Edmund. Those 2 should be going around 3:30 a.m.
Tonight's game against Boston College is going to be a tough one. Who do you think is going to come out on top?
I see Syracuse coming out on top. The dome field advantage, dome court advantage. You know, that's too much for SU to go over BC, a young team, and I think SU just has their number. It's going to be a close one, though.
No, we've got some breaking news.
Wonderful.
On 4 guys who have just gotten elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame: Jim Thome, Vladimir Guerrero, Chipper Jones, Trevor Hoffman, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, not on that list.
And that's disappointing, because the whole point of the Baseball Hall of Fame is to do what? Tell the story of baseball, right?
Yeah.
And folks, I'll say this. You have to tell the story of baseball with a home run king and with an ace like Roger Clemens that just threw heat on the mound all the time. And that's disappointing to me to hear.
All right, thank you, Noah. We'll see how it turns out. We'll be right back after the break with the last look at weather.
Don't go away.
Here we go. We're going to go out there in the rain. You're going to get wet. All right, here we go. Go, bro. Okay, quick. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
All right, we are back here with Jessica Torricelli. So tomorrow morning, what can we expect weather-wise? Is it going to be snowing?
No snow. I think we're done with that for the next few days at least, but it will be high of 20 and it'll be sunny out all day, so at least there's the bright side, right?
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to that sunshine.
Yeah, but how about this weekend, Jess? Are we going to be seeing any snow?
Maybe a little bit of snow, little flurries here and there, but a lot of rain over the weekend, unfortunately.
All right, thank you very much, Jess. And breaking news tonight, it looks like President Donald Trump will be speaking with Robert Mueller, or is at least agreeing to. This is a developing, just breaking story, and Citrus TV will be following it and providing live updates on our social media at Citrus TV.
Yes, and kind of a more fun story to end our show, a donut shop in Philadelphia is placing a ban on Boston cream donuts until after the Super Bowl.
Dottie's Donuts decided to remove the pastry from the menu to show support for the Eagles in the big game against the New England Patriots.
And once hearing about Donut Gate, Esplanade Park in Boston issued a ban on any Philadelphia-related foods like cheesesteaks, soft pretzels, and cream cheese.
I mean, I agree with this move 100%. You got to respect your city. You got to respect your team. Got to do the best you possibly can.
You know, I recently visited Philadelphia just a few months ago, and I have to say that I'm a huge fan of Philly cheesesteaks. I don't know if I could give them up.
Well, I mean, you're not a Patriots fan, are you?
No, I'm definitely not a Patriots fan.
But if it was your team, if it was the Buccaneers, I mean, what would you be thinking? Would you be willing to give up Philly cheesesteaks?
Oh, no, definitely not. I wouldn't even want to give up donuts either. I'm a huge donut
Well,
person.
it's only one kind of donut.
I know, but Boston cream is like a signature. It's a signature donut.
They are very good.
You don't just like give that up.
Do you have any Super Bowl predictions?
You know, I really don't want to say it, but I really think the Pats are going to win, and it just breaks my heart because last year I was going for the Atlanta Falcons. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and I wanted them to win so badly, and they had it, and I'm just not over Atlanta losing the Super Bowl last year.
The Patriots and Bill Belichick are truly the evil empire. Jess, do you have an opinion on this?
You know, I really think that I'm rooting for the Eagles. I think they deserve a shot at it, right? I mean, I'm also from Florida, but the Eagles, why not?
I mean, it's a different team. It's not exactly the nicest fan base in the world, but we'll see how it goes. And I mean, that's a long ways away.
Yeah,
I guess no
in
Boston cream donuts for Philly fans. And that's all the time we have for Citrus TV News live at 6.
Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Citrus TV News. From all of us here at Citrus TV, I'm Rebekah Castor.
And I'm Connor Federico. Have a good night, sir.